Okay, chapter 6, we're starting 6.1, which is all about radicals. Square roots, as you know them. First off, hopefully you got one of these cards and you filled it out like so. We're going to be using that. If not, you will get one from me hopefully tomorrow when you're back or at some point. They're probably on Schoology. You can download them there and fill it in. So, using that. When I have a square root, I have more than just square roots. I can nth root something. That means I can take it to the power of n. I'm nth rooting something where n is the index. So in this case, the index is 5, the radicand is 32. I'm fifth rooting 32. So now I'm going to show you how to use that yellow card. So this one says the cube root of 64. So I'm going to go down my perfect cubes till I see 64 and go across, and my answer is 4. I already know you know this, but when there is no number in there, it's like an invisible 2. We've just known it as the square root our entire lives. So when I take the square root of 25, you get 5. Let's 4 squared this thing first. So I have the fourth root of 16. Now I'm going to go down my perfect fourths until I see 16, go across, and I get 2. Same thing here, fourth root of 81, go down, across, and you get 3 to the power of 3. 3 cubed is 27. Last one, the squared and the square root cancel each other out, and I'm left with 16. So there's skill number 1. Skill number 2, you're rewriting these things. So like instead of having the nth root of a, that's really a to the power of 1 over n. It's the same thing here. So when I have, let's look at the second one first. I have 64, and I'm taking it to the power of 1 over 7. When I have my first one here, 1/2, I'm putting it back under the square root, and I put a little 2 there. Do I need that 2 there? No, because without the 2, it's still the square root, but it's just nice to have. So this one, 25 to the power of 1/2. Next one, x to the power of 1/3. And here we got 8 in the square root with a little 3 in the arm. Kind of same thing below. When we have the nth root of a and we take that to a power, first thing I'm going to do is rewrite this, which we just learned is a to the 1 over n. I'm taking that to the power of m. Well, you learned in chapter 5 when you take a power to a power, you're multiplying those. So I get a to the power of m over n. So this example right here, it becomes 8 to the power of 2 over 6. The one that's in the little arm of the square root goes on the bottom. So same thing over here, 81 to the power of 3 over 4. Here I got an invisible 2, so I got 16 to the power of 3 over 2. Now I'm going to go backwards, so I'm putting x in a square root. The 4 goes in the little arm, and the 3 goes outside. Same thing here, 32 in a little square root. The 5 goes in the arm, the negative 3 stays out. And same thing with the last one, 4, square root. Do I need a 2 there? No, but it's nice to have. There you go. Last part on this is solving these things. So you take this thing, and I want to get rid of that fourth power. I'm going to fourth root it. So really I have x plus 5 equals fourth root of 16. Now if I go down on my perfect force on this yellow card here, go down to C 16 and go across, and you get 2. So x plus 5 equals 2. X equals negative 3. Next one, I'm going to divide by negative 3 first. And then to get rid of the 6th power, I'm going to 6th root that thing. So x equals the 6th root of negative 17 over 3. And if you try and plug that into your calculator, you're going to get an error. Anytime I have an even number, like a squared, a fourth, a sixth, I can't do that to a negative. That's how we got our imaginary number system. So this is a no solution. Next one, I'm going to multiply by 2 first. So I have x to the 5th equals negative 128. To get rid of that, I'm going to take the 5th root. So x is the 5th root of negative 128. I'm going to look on my card, perfect fifths. Oh, I don't have 128 on there. So instead, there is no fifth root button, so I have to rewrite this. So x really is negative 128 to the power of 1/5. And that is how you plug it into your calculator. And when you plug that in, let's see here, negative 128 to the power of 1 divided by 5, and I get negative 2.64. Couple more on here. First thing I'm going to do is divide. So I have x plus 8 to the power of 5 equals 28.5. I know for sure 28.5 is not on my perfect cubes, or perfect, sorry, fifths, because I didn't have any decimals. So I got to plug that into my calculator. 28.5 to the power of 1/5, and I get 1.95. And I just subtract 8. Negative 6.05. Last one. Subtract 4. So I have 5. X minus 3 to the 4th equals 105. Divide by 5. X minus 3 to the 4th equals 21. Now I got to take my fourth root. If I look in my perfect fourths on this card, is 21 on there? No. So that means I'm using my calculator. X minus 3 is going to be equal to 21 to the 1/4. Plug that into my calculator, and then add 3. 21 to the power of 1/4. Add 3, and I get x equals 5.14.